What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another amazing episode of the I'm Not Lucky and Blessed podcast. And as usual, I'm your host, Lucky the Most. Enjoy the show. So today we have a special guest in the building. Her name is Hosanna. She's the founder of Ubiquity Lifestyle. So basically, it's a platform where they eliminate busyness in your life so you can focus on your business. I know you're wondering what that means, but that's why we're all here, okay, to learn from her. So she can tell us, how she came about this brand, what's behind it, and how can it help us. So with that said, help me welcome on stage the one and only Hosanna.
Hello.
Thanks,
Thank you so much. Thank you, Lucky, and hello.
How do you feel?
I feel great. I never know how to act when there's a camera on me. So
Just act like nothing's in front of you.
I'm going
Just
to
you
pretend.
and I
I'll just
having a
ignore
conversation.
it.
Yeah, just
Yes.
ignore it. Yeah. So, having an idea is one thing, but bringing it to reality is a whole different ballgame. You had this idea, and today it's here. You're launching it. How does it feel to your baby 9 months later you delivered? What's that feeling like? I just want to hear how you feel.
of course, that's actually very apt because the idea came to me maybe like early this year.
Yeah.
Like in the spring or something. So it really has been a 9-month baby. I feel very excited. So our services don't actually go live till the 29th, but to have thought of something just off the cuff and spent the whole year building it, and now we're here where I can talk about it with people and actually get people to sign up and help make their lives easier. I think it feels very, I think it feels like, it feels bigger. It feels surreal. That's the word I'm looking for.
I like that. That's amazing. Thanks for sharing that.
Of course.
So, if you were to write a book about yourself, okay, what would you call it?
Ooh, a book about myself.
About your life, everything you've been through. What would you?
I think I would call it. I think I would call it press gas.
Press gas.
Press gas.
Hey.
I think, well, I've always been someone that just loved doing things, and for most of my life I would let busyness, let like things get in the way, school, friends, family, and I feel like a lot of people can relate to just thinking of something or wanting to do something and not actually having the mojo or the drive or to actually accomplish it. So if I were to write a book, I would call it Press Gas, because I'm getting to a stage in my life where now I feel that things that I don't need to do by myself, if I can get someone else to do them for me, I can just, put those away, and then I will do the things that I think are more important.
I like that.
So I would say, press gas.
Okay,
Just
watch out for the book Press Gas, and for, I feel like Press Gas it's like a Nigerian. Is it
It's
like
very Nigerian.
It's very Nigerian, right? So I want to explain to the listeners, like, what does it mean to press the gas?
So something that you see about me, even in Ubiquity Lifestyle, I am Nigerian, so my Nigerianness shows everywhere. So press gas just means, like Nike says, just do it.
Just
accelerate. Just go for it.
I like that. So you said something that you're the type that you like to outsource things, so you can go back to the important things of your life. And it sounds like that's really what's behind this brand.
Yes.
So I want to take you back a little bit. Like, let's know you, when you were younger. Like, what kind of person were you, leading up to this moment?
Oh my gosh. I wish my parents were watching this, but they are not, so they can't fact check me.
Don't worry. We'll share them the link,
So when I was younger, my nickname was One Chali Chali. I don't know what that means. I don't know. They said it was from like an Indian movie or something, but basically I was everywhere. If you take your eyes off Hosanna is doing something. So you had to really tether me to keep me in one place. But I think that as I've grown has evolved into my sense of adventure is pushing the word, but just a desire to do things. I love learning things. I love putting myself out there. So that was me as a child. I was always climbing trees. I was reading books. I was anything that could be done. I was doing it.
I like that. I like that. And then what about in college? Like, if I were your friend, if your friend was to say one thing about you, like, how would they describe you?
So in college, I think the word would be overwhelmed. I had a lot that I was doing. And I think just as someone who likes doing things, there's it's very important to learn that balance, and that was something I didn't have at the time in college. So everything that I wanted to do, I was doing, and I was doing it by myself. So I was very overwhelmed, sincerely.
Wow.
I was a good time though. I wasn't, but I did always put a lot on my plate, and then, it would weigh me down because, only 4 years, you're trying to squeeze in so much growth and development and, ambition in 4 years. It's a lot when you're doing it alone. So,
yeah. No, I kind of like how everything links up, to this day.
Everything is interconnected.
You've been this person that is, you've been this person that is overwhelmed, back in school, and then when you were a kid, you were the everywhere child, and now you just link that up to help others take away that burden of their, their life, their overwhelmness, and, provide a solution to that. That's really amazing.
Thank you.
So, thank you for not, because sometimes we, from a world where people, these are things that happen to almost everyone. If we look back at ourselves, the things we call our disadvantages are maybe like our superpowers. If we can know how to
100%
nurture that, and, if I need this, someone else will need this, and, create a platform. It'd be amazing.
100%.
Yes.
And I'm glad that you said that, because something that I do, again, as someone who does a lot of things, I have a small club that I run with my friends called the Mailing List. And the general idea is we're trying to replicate the sort of community that we had back home, because like you said, if one person is going through something, somebody else probably is. So just that recognition that we're all interconnected, and everything that you do is also interconnected with your life as time goes on. That's something that I always try to channel into whatever it is that I'm doing. So with Ubiquity Lifestyle, for instance, I just kept thinking, only one me is doing laundry, buying food, cleaning my house, then still trying to go to the gym. Like, it's a lot. Yep. So if I'm feeling this overwhelmed, and this is someone who likes doing things, I can only imagine that
someone that doesn't like doing things
is probably just ready to throw in the towel. So yeah.
Just like leave everything and go to bed.
And that's how you end up, with piles and piles of takeout, piles of laundry. It's so easy to get swallowed by these things. And I feel like there's such mundane things that if someone else can do it, why not?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I like that. So the question of the day, I know listeners are dying to hear this answer. What is Ubiquity Lifestyle?
Okay.
Basically.
Listeners.
Amazing listeners.
Ubiquity Lifestyle is an all-in-one platform. It's just one place for you to go and get all anything that you don't have to do yourself, gets it resolved for you. So I can talk more about how the idea came to me. Please, but what it is now is it's just a one-stop shop for you to go and find help with any of your basic needs. So be it cleaning, grocery shopping, laundry, organization, or even any sort of services that you'd rather not do yourself. So if you need someone to run errands for you, go to the post office, go to the DMV. We have all those service providers, and there's people who are actually good at those things. So if you're not one of those people, there's no need for you to burden yourself with it. Just we will help you outsource it. So we're kind of a service broker, but we're a little more than that, because we learn you. So once you signed up, you tell us a bit about yourself, and then as you make service requests, we keep all this information about you. And so if you're constantly asking us for, the same services over and over again, we'll just automate it for you. Just basically setting your life.
Basically, it gets to a point they don't even have to order. You just know when they need it and give it to them.
You bought milk 2 weeks ago, and you're always asking us for milk in 2 weeks, so we will send you milk every 2 weeks, something like that.
I love, the first day you shared this idea with me, I was mind blown. How did you come up with this? I always react to myself, how did you come up with this idea? Because the times we're in right now, this is the best thing you can do for people.
Wow.
People want to spend money, but they don't want to spend time. I was listening to this video where a guy said he would rather have a gym in his house than drive 10 minutes to go work out, because he knows how much that 10 minutes it's worth to him.
You know something? I relate so hard with that guy, because when I got my first big girl apartment, I used to swear that my issue with doing laundry was that it was too far. It's all the way downstairs or down the street. The laundry is across my door, and I think doing laundry is tantamount to slavery. I hate doing laundry. There's just too many steps. So for me, I would say once I get my first big girl job.
Yep.
I'm going to pay someone $20 to come to my house and wash my
do
clothes. So I completely understand. And like you said, time is, in my opinion, more valuable even than money, because you can always make more money, but you can't make more time.
100%.
So I think that, if anything, that's what people should prioritize saving on. And if you have the money to spend, why not?
Yeah, like let's say you make $100 an hour and you can pay someone $20 to do something for that hour while you use it to go make more money. That's a huge win, you know.
And to that person that you're paying $20, that's $20, you know.
That's
that
a
is
big
20.
paycheck for them.
And I think that that's one thing that I was really trying to focus on with my service is, you know, it's easy to just say, hey, like I could be a stand-in for Google, right? Tell me what you want and I'll go Google it. But what we really try to do with Ubiquity Lifestyle is we handpick the service providers. So I'm looking out for people who are passionate about the things that they do. Some people really don't like being at home. They'd rather be driving somewhere or running errands. So if they don't have anything to do for themselves, might as well, you know, have them do something for you. And if you have the $20 to relinquish,
to give
why
to
not?
them. Yeah. Oh wow.
So that's
oh man, more clap for you, man. Honestly, that's amazing. That's amazing. And how did you come up with this? What's the story? Okay. Were you sitting and praying for, and then God just said, "My daughter, this is the idea I want you to execute on"? Or how did this amazing idea come to you?
I haven't had the time to come up with a fascinating enough sad story. I'll cook up one.
Just give us one.
But what actually happened was, how I would say it now is life took a turn for me. And the path that I thought I was on just wasn't playing out like I thought. So I wound up working as a concierge at this luxury building here in Boston, and being in an environment where people can nurture you, where people talk to you, where you feel like you're doing something. I think I started to feel like, okay, I should be a part of something bigger. And just sitting at the front desk, I would see so much foot traffic, people coming to deliver food, pick up laundry, deliver things, you know. And I started thinking to myself, I can only imagine how much time and footwork is going into making this happen. So as someone who has a degree in data analytics, and my first degree was in econ, I know things like economies of scale. I know that, you know, time, like you said, is money. There's just so many of these things that I already was thinking about. And I've always been a problem solver. So I was just thinking there has to be an easier way. I can't imagine that one person is sitting in their home from morning till night, calling to have someone come drop off food, and then calling to have someone. This is a lot. So, as I was getting my nails done one day, and I was telling my friend about how I'd recommended her nail service to someone, and I thought to myself, why don't I just do this? Why don't I know so many people who are very talented, who are passionate about what they do, who don't have as many opportunities. And I also know people who would rather do anything but the things that are crowding their to-do list. So I thought to myself, you know, these are something my dad always says is no experience is wasted. So having lived so many lives over and over, I just thought this is the best way to join all these things together. So that's how the idea came to me.
Amazing.
Thank you.
So I have two questions right now. Like I have so many questions to throw at you, but I want to take us back a little bit. So you said life took a turn for you, and you ended up being a concierge that actually brought this amazing idea, you know. So we want to know, like, what happened in that period of your life? Like, when you say life took a turn for you, like, what happened? Okay, so I think the only way to answer this is to say just the things that I thought were going to happen did not happen. So as far as what happened, that's nothing now. I didn't think I was going to be. The real question is what didn't happen, right? I say I've lived so many lives because I've always been a doer. I've never really seen myself as an entrepreneur until now, but I braided hair, I waited tables, I cooked, I helped out in the kitchen, I helped with home health care. I did so many things. This was all in between school, mind you, and, you know, just trying to build some sort of career. And my first plan was to study and practice law. And so when that didn't play out, I figured I have the skills, I have the education, and I have the drive, so why not turn it into something? And this is not my first, you know, venture. I think this is the first one that I feel this passionate about. But like I said, I run the mailing list, which is a social club for immigrants and first-generation kids with my friends, and that's also something that I use to keep myself sane. It's a great way to connect with people. And
And yeah, I think my main takeaway from that is just there is really no experience that's wasted. I braided hair for like 3 years. That's how I paid for my master's.
Are you serious?
Yeah, literally. And let me tell you, I have a newfound appreciation for skills. I think that was really my major takeaway when I was forced to, not forced, but many ways given the opportunity to do so many things by myself. It's one thing to sit in your bathroom and braid your hair, but when you're standing on your feet for sometimes 12 hours at a stretch, just turning client after client, or doing the same thing in a kitchen where you're like peeling yams or like slicing fish, all these things, it's so easy to take them for granted when you're on the receiving end. But I think having experienced them firsthand, I have a whole new appreciation for people who work in the service industry. And that's why with what I'm doing now, even though, it is for the clients and my goal is really to help people free up their time, on the back end, the bigger picture is that I'm helping people who have certain skills and just don't even know where to plug them. And I'm helping open them to markets that they may not have had access to. And we're all helping each other, right?
100%.
That's what it is. You have these skills, this person has this money, exchange it. So
trade by barter.
Basically.
I give you service, you give me your money.
Exactly. My econ professor, Professor Smith, will be so pleased to see that this is where my degree culminated. Trade and barter. Trade and barter. Econ 101.
I love how, everything that you've been through, like, how they say everything happens for a reason in life.
Right.
It's just like everything you've been through just made you this person you are today. You did hairdressing, you did waiting and cooking and all that, and now this is a service that you're also providing. And just because you've been there, I feel like you would know better the kind of people you want to work with.
Exactly.
You would know the kind of people you want to hire, the certifications, and I just wonder how many of us right now in places where we can't even explain, but God is just like, trust me, this will add up later on in life.
Absolutely.
If you hadn't been through all those things, you wouldn't have had this idea or even how to personally check out for these people, make sure they're good and the service is
exactly.
So
I thank you so much for calling that out, because that's something that I think makes me uniquely positioned to launch a service like this. It's one thing to sit behind a screen and understand the service industry, but when you've actually experienced it, you know exactly what you're looking for. You know what kind of skills people bring to the table that aren't necessarily even hard skills. The ability to learn things quickly, the desire to help people. These are things that you can't necessarily see on a piece of paper. So I think another big thing for me with Ubiquity Lifestyle is, as it grows, I'm hoping it will provide people an opportunity to step out of the typical 9-to-5 bubble. Not everyone fits that neatly into corporate world, and some people don't necessarily even belong there. You talk to people who are data analysts or work in the finance sector, they're consultants, and they don't necessarily have any sort of passion for what they do. If you have a passion, and on the back end, that's why I have something called a lifestyle partnership. The service providers that I work with, if you just have a passion and idea, I help you curate it. So in addition to providing services to my clients, I'll help you structure your business, right? I'll build a logo for you. I'll set you up with the website, give you whatever licensing and permits that you need. It's a way of, I don't like using the word empowering, but it's a way of equipping people to do things that maybe mean a little more. And with time, some of my service providers have day jobs and some of them don't. And with time, we never know, right? A passion can grow into something that becomes your full-time profession for all we know. But I really just wanted to be that sort of landing place for everyone to find their purpose in a way.
That's really nice. I admire the fact that you should use this word, professionalize people. So it's like you could be just a regular hair braider that has the skill, and the world there hasn't known or recognized you get, right? So now this platform, you help them get whatever certification they need, clean them up. Like, for example, I'm a personal trainer and I'm part of the services that you offer. And I went and saw the website you built for me, the landing page. I was like, oh wow, this is interesting. Like, it just package people and make them look more professional.
And this is not to say that you weren't already good at what you, obviously. So
you're
obviously a personal trainer, right? So it's not that you weren't already doing these things, but sometimes you just need that one opportunity. And I think that if I can be that, in all sincerity, before Ubiquity Lifestyle, there was Ubiquity Co., which is my corporate consulting branch.
Gotcha.
And so if I can help you bring these ideas into fruition, I think that's part of my calling. But if even more so I can then help you plug into a ready market, then I think my work is done.
Facts.
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. Where did you come up with the name Ubiquity from?
That is a
Like,
very good
when you
question.
shared the name, I was like, huh, this name is, well, like, some of us can't even pronounce it. How do you pronounce it again? Say?
Ubiquity.
Ubiquity.
So I would say my biggest strength when it comes to entrepreneurship is coming up with names. I love naming things. I love my last name. My last name is Unom. It's very unique, and it's mine. So I wanted something that kind of played on that, and I kept thinking, this is a service that I see everywhere. And my friends who know me know that I am a grammar nerd. I love the English language.
You love the dictionary.
Partly because it's the first one that I spoke. I love the dictionary. So one of my favorite words, just how it rolls off the tongue, is ubiquity, and it starts with the first letter as my last name. It represents what I want, which is to be everywhere. That's what ubiquity means, is, an abundance of presence somewhere. So that was kind of where it came from.
And when you got that name, how did you feel? Because I love names too. Like once I get the name to the business or whatever, I'm
to
like,
me, that's half of
yes,
the work
that's
done.
half of the work. I'm like, okay, this business is gonna be successful.
Yeah.
I don't care what.
Exactly.
Just that name.
Yeah, I can just imagine someone in California lean back and go, I need to check on my Ubiquity Lifestyle account. And I'm like, yeah, I see that working. When the name came to me, I think that in a way, because I have to emphasize, when this idea began, I was kind of quoted to unemployed. I really didn't have much going on. So it wasn't that, I was already building something and just came up with the name. I was sitting down thinking, what am I going to do with my time when I'm not working as a concierge? And when the name came to me, I think it felt almost like an epiphany, like, okay, you've had ideas before and this may or may not go somewhere, but this one is going somewhere for sure. So if not for anything, just so I don't waste the name, I was like, I might as well just build this service around it. And when I first started, it didn't look like this. It started as a completely different thing. I still wanted to provide services, but the structure was a little different. So I think over the months, as I found service providers and as I've, spoken to people and gotten a sense of what kind of services are needed, I've been able to fine tune it. And I think now the name is even more concise, because it's not just one thing and it's not just one person. It's everything and everybody. It's ubiquity.
It makes sense.
It
It makes sense.
It does, right?
Like they ring for bread.
It's
It's funny how like literally things just
they all
like
fall together.
Yeah. Wow. That's really good. So I want to take you back to when you had the idea. While you're telling your friend while you're doing your nail, like you got this idea now. It sounds crazy. Let's be honest. You get it, right. Personally, and if an idea is not crazy, then it's not a good one. It's not a good one. Like how did you share this idea with people, and how were you able to still maintain focus till this time? We live in a world where people tell that the idea doesn't make any sense. I mean, go back to school,
right?
Like naysayers and all that. Like how did you handle all that to the point where this idea has been?
So I must admit, I think this business was really born out of necessity. I had nothing else to do. So it really felt like I have nothing to lose. It's a silly idea, sure. I'm not doing anything, so might as well do something silly. But I will say, when I started sharing with my friends, they were nothing if not receptive and encouraging. I would sometimes even bring it up as a sort with like a shield up, kind of like, oh, don't tell me it's stupid. And they were just like, it's not stupid. They would ask questions and they would always give me like, feedback and input. But I think, again, to say there is very big merit in having community that supports you and believes in you. And I think being surrounded by people who heard the idea and whether or not it made sense to them, just because of the recognition that I'm someone who, I guess, maybe from their perception is grounded enough and won't just, spew things out of whatever. I think that it was helpful to have that sort of positive reception. Because even if not for the idea, for the faith that it seemed like people had in me to believe that the idea made sense, or at least, even ask me questions, that gave me the positive reaffirmation that I needed to know, okay, it doesn't have to look like this, but this is something. And I will say one more thing is, when you're someone who thinks who considers yourself intelligent or like entrepreneurial, or you have all these big ideas, it's so tempting to have the idea so solidified in your mind that anything that doesn't sound like a yes sounds like a no, or sounds like criticism.
Yeah.
I had to do a lot of internal work to let go of that, the sort of attachment to the idea itself. I think I was trying to lean more into, like I said, the fact that people are even asking questions means they see something here. The fact that they're even receptive enough to let me finish my pitch, things like that. So I think if you are someone who's looking to start a business, or if you want to work with me or something like that, it's something that is very key to keep in mind. Is sometimes the idea that, like, it doesn't say anything about you, but just the fact that it's something that you can even put together, I think just go off of that, lean more into the positives and lean into that positive affirmation, because that's the only way you're going to get from point A to point B, I think. I
like that. I was waiting for you to answer. Where are your friends? I want to go make friendship there too, because the friends I have are not like that.
I would share them with you, but I am very stingy about my friends.
Wow.
I will say, though, if you want to make good friends like I have, join the mailing list. I know this is completely separate, but I will cross-promote. Join the mailing list. A lot of the people that I met, not through the mailing list, but my friends are the ones who really helped me build the mailing list to what it is today, and I know it's going to keep growing. So if you want supportive friends who you can tell any sort of idea and they'll say yes, and join the mailing list.
Okay, so towards the end of the podcast, we're going to share the link to how people can join the mailing list.
Of course, yes.
Okay,
and if you're watching on the Instagram live, I'll put it up as well.
Okay, that's amazing. Whew. So far, I like everything. I'm not surprised you're here. You get it, right? With what you've shared with me, everything makes a lot of sense.
Thank you. That's so kind.
Yes. Thank you for, like I said, not just relaxing with what you have, but struggling to make this a reality, because a lot of people sleep on their talent, you know?
Yeah. I will say, I'm glad that you mentioned God earlier, because I'm getting to a place as a person now that I'm not as conservative about my faith. I think that regardless of what deity you believe in or what your belief system is, you do need to have faith in that, and you need to commit. So there is something to be said about, leaning in. If you think of something and you feel strongly about it, I think don't wait for someone to give you the go ahead. I think just do it. And if there is no one to support you, just do it regardless. Truly, So 2 things I will say: hold on to your faith, and seek those support systems. And it doesn't need to be a friend. It could be a pastor. It could be a mentor. It could be someone at your job, that one person that you just talk to about things. Just find one support system, a physical being here on earth, and that's the only thing that you need. You have been equipped with all the tools that you need to get whatever idea pops into your brain from start to finish. That's why it came into your brain and not someone else's. You just need to commit.
I like that.
So that's my 2 cents. Oh.
Wow.
Thank you.
Give me goosebumps on that one. Yeah, no, that was...
I do accept speaking fees. I'm joking.
Hey! Wow. We're doing one business here. You're coming up on that business in the process of talking about that business. Where are you from? Are you Igbo?
No, I'm not. And let's not push... I'm from Benue State. Proudly representing.
Okay, nice.
Proudly.
Shout out to all the Benue State people out there. So let's go into the business. Let's go behind the scenes of what we see here today, what we're experiencing today. Like, what have you done so far that people don't even know you did to get to where you are today? Because the final product is amazing, but trust me, the process must have been a lot. Yeah.
So like I said, the first version of this, the first iteration didn't look like this at all. So I started out with something called a name, TDL. It was a to-do list, right? So what I would do was, it was an interactive platform. Don't steal my idea, because I'm still working on it. But it was an interactive platform where you just kind of put your to-do list up, and then you'd share it with me, and I would just tick things off for you as I did them.
Wow.
My wonderful friends, and I have to name them now, Chinedum and Maki, they really stood up and let me use them as scapegoats. So there was like a 10-day trial where my friend Makwa just put things on her to-do list, and I'm running around town like it was to plan a birthday party. So I'm making the flyer, I'm trying to find a location. There was also one that she wanted help detailing her car, so I'm calling up people. It didn't end the service now that you see was
Yeah.
built off of the backs of people like that who were willing to let me use them as
Use them as
scapegoats, because
scapegoat.
it gave me a sense of what are people looking for? What kind of services do people need?
Yeah.
Also, while I worked as a concierge, let me just say, the working in service industry is hard, but it makes it so much better when the people that you work with actually have respect for you. And so I would just chat with some of the residents there, and I would tell them, hey, this is something I'm working on, and they would give me feedback. They would say, yeah, if you have this sort of service, I'll be happy to sign on, or, you know, let me know if you include this. So these are the kind of conversations. So a lot of talking,
Yep.
a lot of phone calls,
Yep.
a lot of just trying and failing. The TDL structure didn't really work just for scalability, but getting to see how it would look,
Yeah.
seeing the value that it provided, getting that feedback, those are things that for any sort of venture are invaluable. So over time, multiple iterations, different platforms. I would start off on one website host and move to another, and then switch to a different thing in the back end, just kind of jumping from place to place. Yeah, that was, I mean, as it is now, when the name and the idea first came to mind, I didn't think it would look like this, but I'm happy to see that it's this way, and I know that even this time next year, it will look completely different, but it will all be for the best.
I like that. Yeah, I mean, constantly growing, you know.
Right.
It's just the beginning, you know, more services to add
Definitely.
and all that.
Yeah, so if you know anyone who has any very unique set of skills, or not at all, please send them my way. The more service providers, the better, because I'm hoping as we grow, clients won't be an issue.
Yep.
Everybody, as people become more upwardly mobile and become more concerned with, you know, maintaining their fitness, just having a certain sort of lifestyle,
Yeah.
we're here to serve them. So
Okay. So what kind of services, let's list all the services you offer, and what are the requirements for someone to be a part of, not a client, but, you know, someone with a skill. How can someone be part of it? Like, what are the requirements needed?
For the services, right now we have all the basics covered, right? So cooking, cleaning, grocery shopping, any sort of like apartment organization you need. We also have a transportation system.
Wow.
So to get you to and back from the airport, we have drivers.
Wow.
So if you have a friend visiting town, you guys want to get a rental, but nobody wants to be driving because everyone wants to be drinking.
Yep.
We have drivers for you. We also have errand runners. So if you need someone to, like I said, go to the post office for you or stand in line. We just signed on someone with a connection in the DMV. So if you need to have a vehicle registered or just fix up anything with your vehicle, just give us a ring or shoot us a text. We have a mechanic who works with select vehicles, I think mostly American vehicles. So to you, I don't know American. I don't know anything about cars, but we have a mechanic.
Mechanics enough. You know, you don't have to know about the car.
Yeah,
you just need to know the
what
mechanic.
I do know is that we have a
Yes,
mechanic who knows
yeah,
about
yeah,
cars,
yeah,
and that's
yeah.
really the thing.
Yeah, no.
Those are the services that we provide. We also have more lifestyle services, so just to help you elevate your lifestyle, we have a personal trainer, we have a skincare consultant. We're working on setting up someone to help with interior decoration right now. We have a real estate consultant, so you want to move, you don't want to be, everybody knows apartment hunting is the second worst thing you can do to yourself right after laundry. So we have all of those things. To be a service provider, really all you need is the talent and the time. If you, not even the talent, the desire, if you have a passion and you have some free time, just let me know what you can do. And because I have the experience working in the service industry, if you have just the drive, we can kit you up to get you set to do whatever it is that you want to do. You just need to be willing to do it. That's all. And I think that also speaks to your earlier question. You have to be willing and just do it. So that's really it. There's no real hard requirements. Someone like you who already had a business and just needed like branding, I can help out with that. But if you just have an idea, I want to bake pies. I really like baking pies and I just want to bake pies. Let me know. We can get you a certification. We'll get you into a kitchen. We'll set you up and we'll give you, brand you, get you registered and plug you in. So whenever we have a client who wants a bunch of pies, we'll connect you with them.
Love that. I love that. And from the client point of view, how does it work? Like, what's the payment? Because I was online and I was looking at the prices, and so like, how do you give them the services? Do they just get one of them, or they pay a certain amount and they get all of them put together? Just give us like a...
Yeah, it's up to you. So we want it to be a very a la carte type of service. So you can see our service offerings. You're welcome to just go pick a service that you need, pay once and have it delivered, and that's all. So say you have friends coming into town and you want someone to go to Costco and a bunch of different places and pick up different things for you, you can just go pick a grocery delivery, make a payment. We'll have, and then once you confirm the payment, you can text us directly. You can use the interface right there on our website. You can send an email. There's multiple platforms open for you to actually make those requests.
Yeah.
But right when you pay, you can just fill in what exactly you need done and when, and it will be delivered. That's just like one example. You also have the option to get a lifestyle bundle where if there's certain services that you need on a recurring basis. So I need cleaning twice a month and I like to go to the gym at least once a week. You can bundle those for you and you pay one flat fee and then it's just scheduled in for you. Yeah. Something wonderful that we are finalizing rather, and we'll be ready to roll once the service goes live on the 29th, is a lifestyle consultant. So that's just like your in-pocket virtual assistant. Yeah. Once you've signed up for any plan, so not an individual service, but any sort of ongoing plan. So you have, let's say, a workout bundle where you have recurring workouts every week. You can just shoot your lifestyle consultant in text and say, hey, where do I get my nails done? And we'll connect you with our nail service provider. Where do I wash my clothes? We can connect you. But if you want to just let go of all that work, just get one pricing plan. You can get a basic pricing plan that comes with cleaning. It comes with one service, so either like personal training or skincare consulting or fashion styling, and then it comes with multiple service requests. So you could get a basic plan or a plus plan. The difference is just how many more services you can request, but but
there's no limit to what you can request.
It's just you set it and roll. Once you pay that one monthly fee, your cleaning is scheduled, so it's just a matter of saying, I'm not home today. Can you guys come next week? But if you don't tell us that, we'll be there. So we have cleaning scheduled, package pickups for you. So when we come into your building, we'll just grab whatever packages that you have and run them upstairs for you. We also have garbage removal, of course. So whatever garbage, recycling, you've just gotten your Black Friday shopping in, all the boxes, we'll take them out for you. And then we also have pet care. We just rolled in pet care. So if you need a dog walker, once or twice a week, we have that for you for an hour. So you can just, again, you can either select these services one by one, you can get a plan, or you can just bundle them up.
Wow. And when they get a plan, you customize it based on what they want. I love that.
Based on what you need. So the plans are just kind of set and run. So it's fixed prices, but you can pick whatever services you want under those plans. But all of those plans come with the apartment cleanings.
Okay.
Yeah, and the package pickups and what I consider the basics, right? Yeah. I'm not going to have someone coming to pick up your puppy if your apartment is upside down. So we'll definitely send someone to clean for you.
I like that.
Yeah, and then you can just pick whatever extra services you need.
Okay. So it's little things, taking out trash. Sometimes people come inside, they have to smell it, and it's a trash, but you still don't want to take it out,
So what we really want, the life that we envision for our clients is you really just wake up and anything that you don't physically have to do, don't worry about it. We'll cover it for you.
Just gonna look for money.
We're assuming that you're out making money anyway, so we're trying to free you up so you have more time to do that. And maybe to explore your own passions, right? So now maybe when you're not lugging laundry up and down the stairs, you have more time to decide that, oh, you know what, I actually do want to do makeup part-time, and then you can text your lifestyle consultant and say, hey, how can I become a makeup artist? And then we'll plug you in. These are things that we want to do, but right now how it works is just you can either pick a service, you can pick a plan, or you can just bundle them up and get a lifestyle package.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. So before I ask the next question, I just want to let listeners know, if you have any question, please get prepared. After this question, we'll take as many questions as you guys have, and then we'll round up. So this last question is something I came across. I don't have it in my head, so I want to share it with you. It says, you can't be committed to any task without being creative in your approach. You can be creative and not be productive. And you can be productive without being successful. Yeah, listen, and when I was here and you already gave me a backstory of this, I was like, this kind of relates to you. Do you agree with this saying, and how does this relate with you?
Oh,
you want me to take it again?
Yeah, would you mind?
Okay, so it says you cannot be committed to any task without being creative in your approach.
Okay.
And you can be creative and not be productive. And you cannot be productive without being successful.
I don't disagree. I think where we split hairs is our definition of success.
Okay.
I think that if you think of success in like by the metrics of the world, right, where you have money, you have acclaim, you have access to things, perhaps not, because sometimes you can do everything right and things just won't work out.
Things won't work out.
I'm a living testament to that. However, I think that if you're more flexible with your definition of success, where success is simply growing, if you know more, you can do more, you have more experience than you did yesterday, in my opinion, that's a success. Because I think of success more as an ongoing process. And I don't see it necessarily as like a state of being that's contradictory to failure. I think that you can fail while you're succeeding because it's an ongoing process. So with that definition in mind, I agree. I think as long as you keep doing it, you wake up every day and you show up, you're thinking of new ways to approach old problems, and you stay committed to whatever it is that even kickstarted it from, I'm just working backwards now, kickstarted it from the beginning. As long as you keep doing that, you are succeeding, because my friend Dimeji, who just walked in, told me the sooner you find out how this is not going to work, the better for you. So I think multiple failures in many ways is even success, because now you know how it's not going to work. And that's a success in a way. So I agree.
That's nice. Because when I saw that quote, the same thing, I was like, what is success? And I realized that success basically is if you're committed, if you're creative, you're productive. If you put all those three things together, you will like. If
you end up where you're supposed to be.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. So
agreed.
I love that. So to the listeners out there, we're taking questions. Any questions from you guys?
Yes.
What type of advice would you give someone who is stuck in a rut and wants to get out of it and to be successful where you are?
I will say I don't give advice.
No, ubiquity advice. You should add that in your services too.
We actually are working on rolling out a life coach service, so we're just trying to certify the person, but we will have a life coach before the end of next year.
Okay.
So you can start by getting a life coach. But I will say, not advice, but if you just want to know how I approach being in a rut, I think just feel it. Like when you're in a rut, right, you are so overwhelmed by the things that are keeping you there, and like I feel like you're so concerned with getting out of it that you just keep hitting the ceiling and falling back down. I think just feel it. It helps you kind of take inventory of where you are. Let's look at facts. What is actually going on? So I have been swearing I'm going to, let me think, anything. Let me say lose weight. I've been swearing I'm going to lose weight and I'm going to do it tomorrow, but I haven't done it today, and you keep kicking it down the line. You will start to feel some way, and you might even double down on whatever unhealthy practices are keeping the weight on in the first place. So it's good to just accept, acknowledge where you are and feel it. Why am I actually in this position? It's because after a long day of work, I can't be bothered to cook. Or when I wake up in the morning, I don't have the energy to go for a run. Little things like that. So when you let yourself really feel the inhibitions, it gives you the freedom to take inventory and say, okay, so what needs to change? And I think as someone who has been in that position multiple times, if I had a service like Ubiquity Lifestyle, it would be good to say, okay, so these are the things that are standing in my way. If I can get some of these things off my plate, it will free me to do what I actually need to do. But if you're not a potential client, then I think just feel it and then be calculated about the steps that you're going to take to get out of it, and give yourself time, because you can't do it all alone. So you're going to have to do it one by one. If there was multiple of you, or if you had a service like this, you can say, okay, you take this, you take this, you take that. I will work on getting my mental health in a better place, or work on actually fixing my diet. But if you don't have that, then I would say just give yourself time.
I love that.
Feel it, decide what you need to do, and just give yourself time.
I think she's satisfied with that answer.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, please.
What is the first thing you do as an entrepreneur when you get up in the morning?
Okay. For the sake of my Christian faith, I will tell the truth.
Don't lie.
I reach for my phone. I reach for my phone, and just as a force of habit, I do my devotion. And when I say my devotion, it's just like a quick acknowledgement of my Bible verse for the day and a thank you, Jesus, for waking me up. And then I jump to social media. So I will say I jump to social media because it's a habit.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to lie and say I'm not going to touch my phone first thing in the morning. So what I have is a general rule that says no doom scrolling. So once I'm on social media, as soon as it occurs to me that I'm just sitting here scrolling, I have to drop my phone.
Gotcha.
So sometimes when I'm still groggy, the occurrence doesn't really come until after like a few minutes, and I'm just like, oh, you're doom scrolling, and I have to drop the phone. But the cookie cutter answer is I set my intentions for the day, and these things are good, but I think it's important to roll them into an ongoing routine that you already have. Something about the world that we live in now with social media, it's so easy to see, days in the lives and think this is how you're supposed to live your life to get to a certain level of success.
Yeah.
They're just selling you products, really, right? So the person it's just all marketing. I think I'm more concerned with the holistic person, and I think that while those practices are good, it's important for you to make it work for you. So if you set your intentions, sometimes maybe it's on your walk. If you are walking to work or whatever the case may be, maybe that's when you set your intentions. Some people set their intentions when they're eating. When you're at peace, you're watching YouTube and you're thinking, damn, I should do this. Then pull out a book and whatever. Right. So these are all things that you can adapt for yourself. But to answer your question sincerely, yes, I wake up, I do my devotion, and I go for social media. I go to my emails, I check my texts, I just make sure I didn't miss anything the night before, and then I carry on with my day.
Yes. Good answer.
Yes.
Yes. Of
course. So I've just, as of today, added in just a resource bank where you don't want to commit. You don't know what services you even need, but you just want the access to those services. It's $250 for the month. You can pay once, you can pay ongoing. It's adaptable. This is more just for people who know that they need more for their lives. They just don't know where to start. So once with that one-time payment, you get access to all our services, really. They're not some are discounted, some are full price. But the major thing is you don't have to then spend the time of having to find who is going to come clean my apartment and who's going to come take my laundry and you don't have to do all of that. We've put it all in one place for you. You just pay once and you go. For the bundles, it's up to you. If you just want maybe like once a week, twice a month apartment cleaning, that comes with the garbage, that comes with package pickup. That's $4.99, I think. I haven't looked at this in a minute. Too. Yeah, it's all on the website. But yeah, that's $4.99. And if you want weekly apartment cleanings with package pickup and garbage removal, and you want, ongoing workout sessions, I think we have 2 a week with this other bundle. That's $7.50, if I'm not mistaken. So they're in my opinion relatively affordable because you just set it and go. Yeah. But if you don't even have the resources for that, you just pay a one-time fee, get access to our resource bank. If you want to keep it going, it's just $100 a month where, okay, yes, now I have a cleaner, I have this, I have that. I don't know what I'm going to need next month. Maybe I'm going to finally start doing my nails or finally start getting my hair done, and I might need that next month. Next month, it's just $100. That gives you ongoing access. And you can become that person in your friend group, right? Hey, do you know where I can do this? I have a Ubiquity Lifestyle subscription. I'll find this thing for you.
Packaged.
Yeah, so that's the general idea.
I am covered.
I think that there's also something to be said about social media. Everybody thinks you have to be this type of person to live this sort of whole, well-rounded life. But I think what Ubiquity Lifestyle is trying to do is make it accessible. You don't need to know so many people or have these many resources. If you have $499, you're good.
Yeah.
And that's $499. You set it and go. You don't have to think about anything else. Yeah. So. Yes. Absolutely.
It's a
Absolutely.
powerful question.
That's a very good question. Thank you. I maybe suffer from the opposite of fear of the future. I'm always terrified of today. I'm somehow convinced, like when I think of Ubiquity Lifestyle, I see it really where I have it in mind, right? Where we have branded vehicles that come and pick you up from point A and get you to point B. And while you're on your way, someone is cleaning your house and it's all automated and all of that. That's really where I see it going. If it doesn't get there, I think I'm not that afraid because I know that I've started something that's powerful. And even if it doesn't, like I said, it may not look this way in a year, right? I'm doing all this dressing now and it may not look like this in a year, but because I'm committed to making it something, it can become something in the future. And I think it's always reassuring to see, moral, moral reservations aside, companies like Amazon and Facebook, they didn't start out that way, but they started out with a vision and they allowed themselves to grow. So I think because I know that I'm comfortable growing, I'm not as scared of the future. The fear of the now, though, is what I think keeps me sometimes from acting because the future looks so rosy and everything, but you actually need to do the work today to get there. How I overcome that really, like I said, is I just do. I think to myself, if life ends today and as a Christian, I face God and he says to me, the talents that you were given, where did they go? The passion, the drive, whatever. And I have nothing to say. I would feel then that I've had a wasted life. Yeah. However, whatever I think, whatever your moral system is, whatever your belief system is, I think having this assurance that you were made for something more, especially if you have that desire, those desires don't come from nowhere. I feel you have them for a reason. Yeah. So I think double down, forget about what people say, forget about how it looks, forget even about failure. You can fail 1 million times. Everybody knows people that are failures, but you know them. That shows that they did something right to a certain point. Because you know them.
I never thought of it that way.
Yeah, you're only, especially, I'm thinking of maybe even like celebrities, right? They are failures, but you know them. So they did experience some level of success in what they've chosen to do. Even failed businesses, it is a business. It's there. It exists. So I think it's just up to you to decide that you will make something more and just keep going. Just keep going. Just honestly, press gas. Just keep going.
Press gas.
Just keep going.
I love how you branded failure, man.
No, seriously, just
even
keep
those
going.
that fail, we know them, so
just
recognition is there.
Just keep going. Really, the only time that you are completely failed, there is no going back, is when you're under the ground or cremated or whatever the case may be. If you are still alive, literally, just keep going. Even if you feel completely disempowered, I have to emphasize, I don't know how clearly to express how unemployed I was when I started this. I really had nothing going for me. Not that I had nothing going for me. I mean, hindsight, obviously, I had stuff going, but in real time, there was no sort of beacon of hope that I was going off of. I really was just like, I'm awake and I have a computer and I have phone numbers and I look at what you have and just use that, but just keep going. Yeah. And when you have more, use those resources, but you just have to keep going. And if you have nothing, you have yourself. So just keep going. Yeah. Just keep going. Yeah,
cool. Thank you.
So that's how I thought.
Yep. So due to time, let's just take maybe one more. If anybody has any question.
And please eat something too. I have all this wonderful food. It's for you.
Don't worry, we eat it. Don't.
Okay.
I'm here. Don't invite people. Don't eat, guys. Yes. You're fasting.
Hey.
That's a good one.
As a self-acknowledged workaholic, that is probably the most difficult question to answer. We tend to forget about ourselves. Yeah. Speaking from we are so worried about everything else, and we forget and you get right. Yes. The only thing that I do, you know what? This question is making me do a lot of introspection. The only thing that I know I do sincerely for fun
Yeah.
is working out. I
Aw.
love going to the gym.
That's nice.
If I'm sad, if I'm happy, if I'm hungry, if I'm thirsty, but I go to
Just
the
go
gym.
to the gym.
I'm saying it's making me do introspection now because I've started recording my workouts, which I don't typically do, which I kind of want to stop now that I think about it, because that really is my only solace. Other things that I like to do, I like spending time with friends, but I've commercialized that with the mailing list. So I like to go out to eat.
Yeah.
I like to go out to eat. I like trying new food. I like food a lot. I like learning new things. So now I'm trying to learn how to cook. Again, I used to know how to cook, I swear.
Yeah.
I just don't know how to cook anymore. So I'm learning how to cook again.
It's okay.
I like learning things, so mostly watching video essays on YouTube. I want to do more things, and I'm
Yeah.
hoping that even as I start to use my own services, I'll have more time
Yeah.
to do more things, but mostly just work out for now. Work out, read when I can, but usually not. Sleep, maybe, I don't know.
It's okay.
Yeah. No. so that's 2024. Press gas, but also remove some gas so that you can play. Yeah. Yeah,
Don't
have
play
breaks.
too
Yeah, step
much,
on the brake a
oh.
little.
That's why they have break now, thing, right?
Right. So press gas, but maybe
Use a
sometimes
little
press
break.
brake. Yeah.
I like that. So last question from me to
Okay,
you.
that's all right.
If you had to advise the younger you, okay, you know, growing up with everything you've seen in life, you know, what advice would you give to yourself?
Oh.
Even when that unemployment period, like what advice would you give to
I
yourself?
have one. And honestly, this is actually the only piece of advice that I would go back if I
Yeah.
had the opportunity and give myself. Trust your sauce.
Trust
Trust your sauce.
Wow.
Trust your sauce. A lot of us, I've noticed, I was talking to my friends, some of my friends, and we would always talk about how, when I was younger, I used to be this. And even older people, when you talk to them, when I was younger, I used to be this. Especially people who didn't really nurture those things. Maybe life got in the way, like in my case, or sometimes maybe things happen.
Yes.
Whatever you used to be, that is you. That's actually who you are.
Yeah.
Whatever best version of yourself you used to see, that you hearken back to and you wish for, that is actually who you are even today. Whatever it is that's making you not that person, those are things that are just kind of getting in the way
Yeah.
of who you really are.
Wow.
So if you see yourself on billboards, you see yourself successful in whatever your definition is, famous, whatever you see yourself as, that is actually who you are. You need to trust your sauce in the sense that you need to, and I say trust your sauce because for me, I've always been a doer, but I knew that at some point in my early 20s, especially, my late teens, early 20s, the passion, the drive behind my doing
Yeah.
left me.
Yeah.
Trust your sauce because you have to keep that drive every day. You're not just working for you, you're working for future you. The
Yeah.
you that you see yourself as is, I don't know. Physics people, make of this what you will, but it's in the future. It's there already in time,
Yeah.
calling out to you, and you need to do the work today to get to
Get
that
there.
version of you. So just trust your sauce. Trust the you today that you don't like very much, and the you yesterday that you liked more than you tomorrow that you're hoping you will love. All of that is you. Just trust it and just be it. So that's what I would tell myself is just, trust your sauce.
That's amazing. That's also the same advice to you guys too. Trust your
Please
sauce.
don't take
But that's a good
advice
advice.
from
That's,
me.
I mean, that's a good advice, and thank you so much for
Of
sharing
course.
that with us. Okay, so how can people be part of number one, the mailing list, and also your business, your everything, whatever you have, Instagram, just
Okay,
put it
so
out
the
there.
mailing list, that one is always being promoted because the mailing list is very, very, very important. Really nothing, like I said, community is the backbone of everything. So join the mailing list. You can follow us at TML Boston _Boston on
Okay.
Instagram. And then if you want to learn more about Ubiquity Lifestyle, just look us up, ubiquitylifestyle.com. You can also follow us on Instagram, ubiquity_lifestyle. If you're here in person, you can just scan the QR code that's on the screen on your way out. But yeah, Facebook, same thing, Ubiquity Lifestyle. And my cell, I don't know off the top of my head, our business
Oh, no,
cell,
you should- oh,
but it's
business.
all online. So you can just find the services there. And if you know me personally, just shoot me a text and I'll send you the right place to go. But yeah, TML Boston, TML _Boston,
Boston, yep.
and Ubiquity _Lifestyle.
Amazing. So, with that said, man, thank you so much
Thank you.
for doing this, and
Thank
also to
you.
the amazing listeners, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for coming.